Alright, about a couple months ago, I went to this event called Fuel Fest, and ever since seeing this chaser right here, I knew there was an E39 body kit that I wanted for it, and I just kind of like confirmed it. I bought the E39, obviously, and at this event, there was a ride-along for the drift cars, and it changed my life, which led to this video. Alright, so basically, I bought this E39 540i, and it supposedly runs. But the steering lock is enabled. I've got no key, got a whole lot of nothing. So I need to attempt to start it. I've already got the ignition switch unplugged, but I need to still get the ignition switch off so I can turn it over. And then I got to figure out how to get that undone. And then jump it and see if it starts. Maybe I got to delete the EWS, or I just spray some starter fluid in it to see if it works. Either one, I don't know. I'm gonna start by trying to get the ignition switch off so I can just spray some starter fluid in there and see what happens. Okay, so update. I tested the battery that was in BMW and it read 1.8 with the multimeter. So that battery's dead. It wasn't gonna work anyways. Oh, I completely forgot. I did get the ignition switch off and I tried cranking it, and the dash lights turned on. I hooked the other BMW up to it, and the dash lights turned on, but when I went to go crank it, it just clicked. So that's what made me test the battery, which honestly, I should have known it was gonna be bad anyways. Okay, this one's good. It read 12 volts. So just got the battery out, about to put this one in. Oh, and also, I have to take off the ignition switch because I broke it, and with it plugged in, it's always on like the on position. All right, I got it plugged in. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little too big for this area, so I don't think we're gonna keep it there. But had to steal the door. Plug this thing in. Yeah, you see, once I plug it in, everything just turns on. I don't really have a choice. Okay, well, if we're watching, every time I go to like turn it a little bit, it just shuts everything off. Maybe EWS does need to be deleted. I hope this doesn't brick this thing, because oh my god. Ooh. It's plugged in. I hope it don't break it. Okay, I've spent a long time trying to figure this out. I think I figured it out. So this is the moment where I either really disappoint myself or I did it right. Okay, well, back to trying to figure this out. That didn't work. How unfortunate. Okay, so I remember on my 528, when I deleted the EWS, I had to do this little contraption with the actual module. I'm gonna try that, see if that works. Hopes are not high. Yep, nothing. All right, back to the drawing board. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot I was recording all of this stuff. And I've gotten a little far. Maybe not a little far, but like some type of far. I got the steering lock dealt with, pulled it in here, pulled it into the garage. There was, I read the fuel pump, there's 12 volts going to the fuel pump, and I was like, huh, okay. So I tried just using starter fluid, but then I was like, wait, the EWS stops fuel pump and spark. So I was like, huh, maybe I didn't do the EWS right. So I got this software that like actually does it, not just like, huh, I think that right. I'm trying to flash the EWS right now, and well, actually, hold on. I skipped over a huge part. I got a new ignition switch. It cranks. Important part of the story, right? So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm letting it flash the EWS, and then I'm gonna try to crank it with starter fluid again, because I've got a sneaking suspicion that fuel pump is bad, and the fuel in there isn't quite good, because when I read the connector with a multimeter, it's 12 volt. I plug it in, I'm getting like 2 volts. So I've got a sneaking suspicion that fuel pump and everything is not too good. Okay, ECU is flashed. EWS should be deleted professionally this time, not like I changed 2 numbers, think I know what I'm doing. And I already know the outcome of this. You know why? Because even though it doesn't start, it cranks twice without me having to reset the battery. I haven't reset the battery. I cranked it again, and take a listen. Is it gonna crank again? Be real embarrassing if it doesn't. It cranks without me having to do anything. I can spam crank. EWS is deleted. I know a thing or two. Y'all don't know what I'm on. Y'all don't know what I'm on right now because I'm on top of the world. You're telling me I just delete the EWS. I just delete the EWS. Boom. Pop this off. Spray brake cleaner in there while cranking the engine. Boom, it fires. It ran. Dog, the car ran. This thing's a runner. Yeah, exactly like the last one, maybe even worse. You would think they're just blue wires, but no, that's all corrosion. And it wouldn't work in the first place because the actual line that picks up the fuel is broken. It don't even work. New fuel pump for this thing. Unfortunate. Actually, not really unfortunate. I knew it was gonna be like this, but hey, at least I was right.